I'm Barbara Lee, and I am the co-owner and executive director of Italiano, Please, which is a family-run social enterprise that operates here in Calgary, run by myself, my husband Lucio, my son Federico, and my daughter Beatrice. And we have a dual mission of bringing to Calgary authentic Roman food and doing it with a staff that's drawn by at least 50% from our two communities of focus, which are people who identify as being disabled and people who identify as part of the LGBTQ++ community.
Amazing. So, did you have this business in Italy and then you bring it over, or was it something that you started once you were in Canada?
So this is something that we were doing as a family in Italy since about 2016. We we began with creating an association, not for profit, with other families who have children with disability, who we met at therapy sessions where my son was going, because we realized that above and beyond the difficulties of living with disability for the individual themselves, but there are a lot of difficulties that need to be faced for the other members in the family, siblings particularly, but also just the family unit as a whole. So together we created this association. We did a lot of great work. And then my husband closed his catering company and we opened a cooperative, what's known as a cooperative there. And we had 12 members by the end of the day, 5 of which were considered able-bodied people like myself and my husband and a few other people, and 7 of whom were young people with varying disabilities. So Federico, my son, he was one of them. Then COVID came, and in Italy, COVID was very, very, very difficult. And with the really severe lockdown that we had to close the co-op.
Yeah.
And then after that, we kind of made a family decision to come to Calgary. I had been away for 30 years.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was quite uncanny that I had been away exactly 30 years to the day. In fact, on February the 5th, it is going to be 5 years that we're here. And February the 5th was exactly 30 years when I came back in 2021 to the day. So it was really an interesting alignment in terms of timing. When we got to Calgary, what did we want to do? Try to rebuild a life for ourselves. I mean, we left a beautiful life, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
We lived in a small town just outside of Rome, so we were able to build this co-op in this beautiful space in a very ancient building that was able to be put to really lovely use. When people would come to events and things that we were doing in that space and they look around and say, this is beautiful. And it was like a double victory for me because I could feel that they were happy to be there, but I could feel that they were a little bit astounded that people who have disabilities would be working in a space as beautiful as that. So it was really a really interesting vibe that was happening in that space. But we wanted to continue doing that here. And so we opened Italiano, Please, to try to bring Calgary Roman food, which is our passion, our specialty. My husband Lucio has been breathing it obviously his whole life. And it brings Federico into the workforce, but we've been able to hire on other people with disabilities or people who are coming out of what I sometimes call the rainbow community and give them a space in which they know that there's no questions and they're completely 100% accepted.
Yes, they can bring their whole self to work.
100%.
Mhm. I love that. Um, I guess in part of all of this story, um, w- was this the plan or did it unfold differently than you thought?
I'd say that this was the plan.
Yeah.
It was a lot harder than we expected. And it has been a lot harder than we expected. And there are so many variables probably responsible for that. But part of it is coming here when the pandemic was still happening. So
Right.
2021, it was still kind of shaky times for the pandemic. We were able to get a storefront in September of 2021 in one of the buildings downtown, but very low traffic because the building filled over the course of the following 2 years. And so it's just been tricky to get to know people and get people to know us.
Mhm.
The people who we have who know about us and who follow us and who enjoy our food, they're wonderful supporters, 100%. But unfortunately, to have a viable business, it's trickier than we thought it was going to be here in terms of the numbers. And yeah, and we've moved into another large space downtown now in a different building in the west end of downtown, which is the part that's really focused on now for the redevelopment by the city, which in the future is going to look beautiful and it's going to be a wonderful place to be. Right now, it's very quiet.
Right.
So we're focusing on engaging with our community, with associations, encouraging people to come and see us, take advantage of the fact that we're on the plus 15 so that people can come as groups, even adult programming and so on for certain associations or people who that they spend their days with their friends at the associations, and they can come and have lunch or come and have coffee and so on. And so we're focusing on that, and slowly,
Yes.
as they say in Italian,
Yeah.
piano piano.
I love that. Piano, piano.
See,
Oh, perfect. I That's something I've always appreciated about our relationship. You take the time to teach me how to say things well in Italian and about the culture and in a way where it makes me excited to learn more. And I imagine that that is brought into every space that you occupy.
100%. I have to say, truly, authentic Italy has always been part of my DNA. It's been what I was doing when I was in Italy and coming here. And it's just such a joy to be able to share what we call Italianità,
Mm,
the being Italian,
mhm.
with people who are interested. And Italy is such a beautiful place,
Yeah.
wonderful, so full of many beautiful things that it's just wonderful to be able to share. And that's part of what we like to do at Italiano Please. For example, Lucio, my husband, when people come and they're interested to learn or to talk Italian or to learn a bit more about the food, then he gets all excited and he comes and he says, I'm sorry, I don't speak English very well, but, and then he'll launch off into a conversation. And his English is getting better, considering that he came 5 years ago that he didn't speak English at all. But it's getting better. And so, yeah, it's big part of what we do is sharing that. Mm.
Tell me more about your values and how that interplays in the way that you're building your business.
I think some of our core values are really focusing on inclusion, respect, acceptance, and taking the time to embrace all of those. Because this day and age, things have become so frenetic and fast paced that often there's not much respect for time, for people who need more time to do simple things, but who have just as much right to be out there doing things as everybody else. So we need to fight for that a bit, I think, because it's so easy to get swept away in the frenzy of just, oh, got to get this, got to get everything done. Unfortunately, we're a bit pressured to do that. We're living in a business world and so on. But I think probably every family though feels that now. So we need to slow down And that's one thing I really try to focus on and try to impart to people who come and interact with us at Italiano Please or at our little sister shop that's called Pizza Please. I just try, our staff has varying disabilities, not all of them are visible. So I try to, and it's very mother hen of me. It's probably not good, but I try to buffer them a little bit. We try to make it known to the clients so that they can understand that they just need that little bit more patience, a little bit more time to be able to interact with our staff so that everybody has a good experience, including our staff. So,
Yes,
mm,
I love that.
mm,
And I think what I'm hearing is that Italiano, please, brings community. And through that, you're sharing in time that is valued and cherished.
100%.
When did you realize that you needed to grow in a different way?
When we realized how seriously ill our son is, because Federico has a particular, very rare disease, and it's degenerative. So he's had it since he was born, but we didn't realize until he was about 12 that things were just not in order. And so we started a whole very long series of tests and so on. And when we realized that, he's got this illness that is only going to get worse, needing different types of support, and the realization of what that looks like also for his sister and just the gravity of it and that it needs to never be underestimated. And that's when I really, it was a shift.
Yeah.
It was a shift towards that, opening up to and embracing the fact of accepting, slowing down, respecting people's limits, which are not necessarily limits. Limits can be pushed, but realizing that there are, and the support that's required, and just being available to it, just 24/7.
Yeah.
Mm.
That sounds like there's not a lot of breaks in between for you. How do you take time for you?
I'm trying to make sure that I do because it's become a little tricky
Yeah.
because with the business, in Italy, it was different. Also, things in Italy are a little slower, we lived in a small town. I went to Rome every day. I worked 2 jobs. I had my day job in an embassy office, and then I took the train back home to our little town and worked with the co-op. Um, but there was always time for catching up with a friend or cooking with a friend or something like that. Here in Canada, I find that unfortunately I'm feeling that thing of that frenzy and that pressure and that making sure you're always being productive and so on.
Yeah.
But I do take some time for a little bit of TV on the sofa and things like that to just kind of disconnect completely.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
It's not so
Yeah.
super, it's not what I would love. I would love to be saying I'm going hiking in the mountains or
Mhm.
going horseback riding or these things that I love to do.
Mhm.
Maybe soon.
Right.
Mm.
I find myself as a newer business right now is where time, like it's all about the business almost. It's a huge push putting back in to this vision I'm creating
Mm.
so that in a couple of years I have a really good business that I'm proud of and took the
Mhm.
time to build the way that aligned with my values.
Yeah, that is awesome. And good on you, because I know it's a big push. It's a lot of work, but good on you.
Thank
Mm.
you. If you were to give someone like me advice in my role and the way that I move through our communities to uh, be respectful, patient, um, and all of the things that you've talked about, what would that look like?
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and just pause. Find the way to find that time. And then a piece of advice that a lady who I respect a lot, who has created a very important inclusive business here in Calgary, she told me one day, Barbara, figure out your North Star. Find your North Star and focus. And try to keep your focus on that. Don't get too detoured. Don't get off your path too much. And whilst I feel like I've kind of pulled a lot of directions, and I'm sure everyone is. I think if you follow your North Star, I think that's the best advice I could give. And then definitely, everyone has to find their own way to take time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. Thank
Mm.
you. I do
Mm.
appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
What feels uncomfortable but important at this stage of your journey?
The thing that feels uncomfortable right now, and in fact, I don't like talking about it, but it's important to face money. I don't want to say I hate money because would be foolish, but I hate having to worry about money. I hate having to wonder, is there going to be enough of it to meet all of our needs as a business and as a family? As a business, we have our staff, we have, of course, we have our landlords, we have our obligations, and and then as a family with special needs, we've got special needs. And so, unfortunately, I find it so frustrating how many things come down to money,
Yeah.
and I don't like that. Um, I think that's probably it. And I don't, I love our business. I love being in business. I hate feeling that we don't have enough money. I think that's it.
Of course, I'm in the same boat. I feel like currently I'm being stretched in different ways. And one of that is understanding how to manage money in a business that has sprints. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I have quiet seasons so
yeah.
that I have busy seasons. And how, yeah, how do I manage that? Especially when, and what I'm hearing is similar, we love what we do.
Mhm.
So it's not really the money that we want to be worried about
Exactly.
or that fuels the passion. It's almost like um, the work itself is what makes us rich in life,
Mhm.
and the money hopefully will come from that.
Right. I 100% agree with that. Very true. If there was a way that we could do it all and not have to worry about the money, then that would be a perfect world.
Mhm. It would. It would. What are you more intentional about today than you were yesterday?
Self-care.
Yeah.
I think that as time goes by, I'm really truly understanding what you hear around the place. Take care of yourself first, because if you don't, you can't take care of other people or you can't reach your goals or whatever. And and I truly believe that I had discounted that a lot in the past. And as time goes by, I'm getting older every day and starting to realize that they say it because it's true. And I think that's something that I really have to be a bit more focused on today than I kind of ever was in the past.
Yes. Yes, especially as a person who wears a lot of hats and is a lot of things to a lot of different people.
Mm. Yes, I
I
really kind of feel that it's not a pressure or a stress, but it is a responsibility.
Mhm.
And I really feel like, yeah, it's a responsibility to all of our staff who, in one way or another, have special needs, and we love them, we embrace them, and we want to support them. And then there's just, my family and my more extended family also. I'm part of the reason I came back to Calgary was also to spend time with my mom, who's now on the verge of 92, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's really, really special, and that's another special need.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And it's almost like a personal special need because it's your parent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, in terms of self-care, how would you define that for you?
Taking time, again, it all comes back to time. As much as money makes the world go around, time is the most precious resource next to our health and to love. So, I think that taking the time to spend with the people who are special to you and making positive things happen. And that for me is makes me tick really well. So that's self-care, but yeah, I need to make sure I take that time.
To yeah.
Mm,
Oh, that's so well said. Time is a finite resource, and I am on board with you that it's more valuable than money. Mhm.
mm.
What's something that you wish people talked about more openly in your industry or even life?
Accepting people who don't fit societal norms. I think that people, especially in Canada, there's a big difference between what we came from in Italy and what exists here. And I think that here it is much more accepted. Differences are accepted, and that's beautiful. There are a lot of younger people, especially the age of my children, especially, who are I feel really completely on board with accepting people who aren't necessarily the same as they are. But I think that in the upper echelons where decisions are made and money is spent, I don't think there's enough acceptance of the reality that people who aren't considered normal or have difficulties or have special needs, they have special needs and they need to be met. And that means that things, policies, government, administrations, I feel, should be moving in a way that should be helping to meet those needs. And I honestly am starting a little battle now to try to get the attention of some of these people and say, if there are people, organizations out there who are really trying to help these people with special needs, whatever they be, please support us more because there's just a need for that, and I think it stems from a need for acceptance and really realizing the reality.
That everyone's reality is different
Mhm.
upon lived experiences and varying capabilities,
Mhm.
and each capability is something special.
Mhm. Exactly, and it should be celebrated and acknowledged, and so and supported if necessary. Not always is it necessary, but if it's necessary, it should be just natural that it's supported. So, yeah, I think that would be
Perfect. That's so good.
it.
What would you say to someone who's one step behind you right now?
Don't lose faith. It might be hard, but keep your head down, keep your face to the wind, keep your North Star in sight, and just follow your heart and your passions, and that will lead you where you're going, where you want to be. And I do truly believe that good brings good, and that in our research, or our search for doing good, it's a positive vortex, I think is what it's called in English. So uh, definitely, I would say, really keep it up.
And what is the positive vortex equivalent in Italian?
È un ciclo positivo.
Oh, I like that.
Sì.
It feels extra magical.
Sì.
Um, what does mastering the journey mean to you?
I think mastering the journey is something that to strive for. Um, I think that it again comes down to time, and it's something that, will we ever master the journey? No, but we will strive to, and we'll do our best. I think that that's what it is doing our best.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
Except that you're awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's good.
That's so sweet. Okay, amazing. Well, I'm going to put these down, and I would love for you to tell me a little bit about what we have here today.
So, today I brought for you un caffè freddo shakerato. So it's a special thing that we make in Italy generally, but in the hotter parts of Italy and mostly during the summer, because it's an espresso over ice, shaken in a cocktail shaker, and then enjoyed. And generally enjoyed without the ice. We find that people here in Calgary, everybody loves their ice. So people ask us, can I have the ice, please? So we put the ice in the cup as well. But it's for coffee lovers, because it's just espresso with a bit of sugar. So, and the sugar is not so noticeable, because that's a secret for making the ice not burn the coffee, we say. So otherwise, that conflict of the hot coffee on the ice, that friction can make the coffee seem like it's burnt. So you just put a bit of sugar, and it's really nice. So see what you think.
Cheers.
Chin chin. Mm.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's so good.
See. And I love our little espresso cups, because they're just so classic. It's just such a tradition.
And I find too, when I drink in these special cups, it reminds me to slow down and to take time to enjoy what I have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
See.
I love it.
See, it's something about savoring the moment. And, my husband, he's Canada, everything's so big. And, well, spaces are big, but portions are big, and coffees are big. And so sometimes, people think, you're going to give me just this. And, but the just this is the point.
Yeah.
This is it. Enjoy it. And it's like a little, so in Italian, when the coffee is small, it's ristretto. So it's like a little ristretto moment of enjoyment.
That's beautiful.
Mm.
And thank you.
Mm.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
No, I'm glad you enjoy it.
Do do this at your shops?
Sí,
Amazing. So if
sí.
someone wanted to try, they could come see
Mhm,
you
mhm.
and get
Yeah,
the lowdown.
absolutely. Sí, sí. It's, it's one of those special things that we make. We have in our shop, because the space is very large, we're doing small business collaboration, and the coffee bar area is a collaboration with a family from Colombia. So this is actually their espresso blend, and they bring the beans from their farm in the southern part of Colombia, I believe, where this Nariño bean comes from, and then they roast it here. And then Orlando, he like mixes it with some other from Guatemala and other places. And so we have all the special coffees that are made with his coffee. And then we make these two, Americano and Espresso Shakerato, with the ice, our special way. Yeah. See, it's something special.
It is. It's very special.
Mm. It's not everyone's cup of tea. some people want, some people just want the, the extra large and so on.
Yeah.
And that's fine,
Mm.
That's one thing and again, it comes down to acceptance. Not everybody likes everything the same.
Yeah,
And that's fair.
it is.
And that's why we make our food, our drink, it's all made as authentically as possible with the realization that not everyone is going to enjoy it because it's not been changed or altered for the taste of the people here in Calgary in North America. So, but on the other hand, if people have been to Italy or to Europe before, when they come, they generally really all of a sudden have like a flashback or a déjà vu experience.
Ye
And they realize, oh, this is what it tastes like. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and that's nice.
You're providing, an experience
Mm.
that goes beyond the physical space and time that you're in.
Mm. I agree. See,
Mhm.
I think that says it very well. Yeah, and that's what we love to do that because it's just well, it's evocative of what we were doing before. It makes Lucho feel at home, and he loves to share his Italianità. So it's good.
That is good. Do you, um, plan on going back? Do you go back to Italy very often?
Lucho and Federico go back every year for a little bit, and this year we will be going in July. On the 4th of July, Bea is going to be celebrating her marriage to her fiancé Paige. They'll be married in Calgary, but then we're going to have a really lovely festivity in a little town close to the town we were living in. So we'll have a beautiful party for their wedding.
Oh my gosh, that is magical.
It's going to be beautiful. We're so happy.
And what a wonderful way to celebrate love.
Hmm. Absolutely, 100%. And it will be just special, very, very special because Bea loves living in Calgary. Um, of course, born in Rome and growing up there, it's a big part of her. But Calgary feels like a better fit in many ways for her. But going back and just really living that moment in the small town, like close to where we were living before, is very special and it'll be lovely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you feel like home can mean many things?
I feel yes. Because honestly, I grew up so I was born in Rome. I grew up in Calgary. I went back to Rome in 91, came back to Calgary in 2021. And when I was in Rome, well, Calgary was home. And now I'm in Calgary, and Rome is still home in many ways. So I guess they say home is where your heart is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So they say it for a reason.
It's true.
See? So, yeah. Mm.
Mhm.
See.
I love that, because Calgary, I always say, is our mountain framed prairies.
Mhm. Beautiful.
And Italy is almost like the golden olive framed
Mhm.
prairies in its own way.
Yeah, yeah, very true. See, yeah, Italy is a magical place. I have to say it's generally better to visit than to live in.
Mhm, mhm.
Unfortunately, but it's just the nature of the society and of the bureaucracy and so on that exists there. But I firmly believe that without having traveled the whole world, I cannot say, but I think it's one of the countries that really does have the most of everything,
Yeah,
or at least a little bit of everything. And that's pretty special. So,
that is.
mm.
That is very special.
Okay. So, but Calgary's pretty awesome too.
Yeah,
I wouldn't live anywhere else
yeah.
except for Rome.
2 places.
Exactly. See.
This was absolutely lovely, and I think you bring so many wonderful things to our communities, from experiences to creating safe spaces to um, just supporting and connecting people with one another.
Mm.
And I want to celebrate you for that. So,
Well, I thank you. I thank you for that because you really, truly, you've honed down on exactly the essence of what we're trying to do, what I'm really putting a lot of effort into doing, and yeah, see, it's coming.
it's coming.
See,
That's going to be our t shirt for this segment. It's coming. Follow your North Star,
see.
and it's coming.
Brava. Very good. Thank you.